How to get a number not to flake. Be really lucky. I mean, no, that is a thing though. There is a luck factor, but I'll tell you all the things you can do to increase your odds. So first of all, I'll give you some ratios just to give you some perspective, all right? Typically, I would say in a good day game scenario, like a legitimate girl, not a big group, not a chaotic thing, not a girl walking a million miles an hour, like a girl in a relatively approachable day game scenario, I would say that personally, I'm gonna get a phone number or better, phone number, instant date pull, one of those three, 80-85% of the time. Okay, so pretty decent ratio there, not too bad. Okay, a lot of those will be numbers because girls will be, in a hurry or whatever, but some will be more than numbers. All right. Of the fraction of those that are numbers, which is already the weaker fraction of them, because the best ones will have been the instant dates, the fulls. The ones that are numbers, I'll get that girl out on a date 30%, a third, something like that, percent of the time. All right, so that's huge drop off. That's the biggest drop off in the entire game for me. And then once I get the girl on the date, like I met her, it was a good interaction, followed up with the number, got the date, she really likes me already, I'm gonna close that about 90%. Okay? So the in-person parts are very, very good ratios. The number part is a low ratio, and even with being very good, it's less than 50%. Yep, sorry to tell you guys, right? Because life happens, right? Girl likes you a lot, and then afterwards she's like, oh shit, what was I doing? I have a boyfriend. Or in the moment she really likes you, and afterwards she's like, oh, I'm not really dating, or this or that or the other. Or she backwards Googles me and finds my YouTube channel and decides where, there's all kinds of shit that can happen in real life. So that's where the biggest drop is. So that's where I say be lucky, because even if you do everything right, there's some luck factor. I don't remember rejections hardly at all, right? I can tell you guys right now, and I can say this with certainty, I've been rejected thousands of times in my life, probably. Right? I would assume it's thousands. It's definitely many hundreds, probably many thousands. Who knows? But I don't remember them. Like if you ask me, recall 5 rejections, I literally can't right now. Right? I probably could, but the rejections I would think of as I rack my brain would be rejections that were either educational and memorable in that way, or rejections that were really funny or something like that. Right? I might remember a few of those that are good story rejections, or that were seminal turning points in my game rejections. But the standard rejection, I literally cannot remember, and I have blanked it out. So at the time, I'd come home and I'd do the analysis that Justin mentioned, right? Go over your night, that kind of stuff. But once I have derived from the set the lessons I can take from it, it's gone, because it's truly irrelevant. However, my successes I can remember, because my successes became girlfriends, became long life experiences, became more often great stories to tell, that kind of stuff. And so I have this very, very skewed perspective of game. When I look back at my game career, it looks like success after success after success. And it's very motivating. It makes me want to keep doing game. I don't remember the failures because they were actually truly irrelevant. And in terms of time commitment, in terms of time spent failing and time spent succeeding, that's actually accurate, right? Because most of my failures were over quickly, whereas a lot of my successes lasted all night or for many months or for many years, right? So in terms of time spent in game, I did spend 95, 98, 99% of my time in game succeeding and 1%, 5%, something like that failing. So that's actually accurate in that way as well, right? But yeah, once you've taken a lesson from a failure, let that shit drop. It doesn't matter. And don't let you're gonna meet 20 girls in a night, 10 girls in a night, something like that. Why do you want to make the one obnoxious girl the most important event of the night? She doesn't deserve that. She's not worthy of that. You're bigger, more important, more high value than to let something like that affect you and to carry it with you. I'll give you guys a weird, I don't know, when I do these off-topic weird metaphors, I wonder how much of the room is what the fuck is Todd talking about, and how much you guys appreciate, but I'm gonna do one anyway right now. There's this old story, there's this Buddhist monk, and he comes from a sect of monks where you're not allowed to touch a woman, ever. It's one of their rules, you can't touch a woman in life, ever, okay? And so he's with his mentor monk, he's a young monk, he's with his old mentor monk, and they're walking down the street, and he sees the street's flooded out, and there's this woman on this little island, and she's stuck and can't get off of it, and she's screaming for help. And the young monk is conflicted, because part of his creed is we help people. And we try and be the best people we can and that kind of stuff. But his other part of his creed is we don't touch a woman. So he sees this woman, he's like, what the fuck? But his older mentor monk, without a second thought, immediately wades across the stream, grabs the woman, lifts her over the water, drops her in safety, and then grabs his colleague, and they walk on. And the young monk is like troubled by this. He's like going over it and over it and over it in his head. They walk for like 5 miles, he still can't get over it. They walk for 10 miles, he still can't, and eventually it just gnaws at him. He says to his like monk professor, he's like, listen, I can't get over this. I know you're helping that woman, but like we're not supposed to touch women. You just literally violated your entire credo. Like how can you live with that? And the older monk looks at him and he says, oh, are you still carrying that woman with you? I put her down 10 miles ago. Right? Huh? True pimp. Yeah. And so I guess the moral of the story, when shit's over, let it be over. Don't hang on to it. Right? You got rejected. Not a single person in the bar other than you knows that you got rejected. It's no longer a thing. There is no physical remnant of that rejection. There is no sign of that rejection. A forensic expert could not tell you that rejection happened unless it was on camera somehow. Okay? It no longer exists except if you let it exist. So why do you want to carry it with you? It's not helping you.